So it's time for race 14 of the meeting, Heat 3, Junior Road Tax, Groups A versus B. On the front row, it's going to be Boaz Maximov, and alongside him, countryman Max Swiderski. Row 2, it's a DHR Road 2. Jacob Ashcroft and Tom Streller will round that out. Thomas Verheyen will be joined by Cameron Nelson on row 3, with Lorenzo Giaquinto and Ollie Wise on row 4. Bland van der Weyken and Rory Armstrong complete the top 10. Ahead of Alexander van Meeuwen and Lieke van Berkel completing row 6. Row 7, Andrea Remy from Switzerland and Tom Hedger from Germany. Isaac Barker from the UK will be joined by Georgia's Mate Kobahidze on row 8. Antoine Lemieux from Canada and from the UK, Elliot Surtees round out row 9. Completing the top 20 from Estonia, Hans Markus Neruskan from Finland, Enzo Riccio, Lars Lambers and Jim Bach round out row number 11 with Marco Fali from Hungary, Dragos Avisil-Kutai from Austria, Timothy Tarasiuk from Belarus, Bastian Ottensama from Austria, Marcel Fali from Hungary and Jake Menton from the Netherlands, completing the 28-strong grid. Harry Bartle has won 2 heats, which pretty much puts him on pole position for tomorrow, for one of the 2 super heats tomorrow. But someone has got to take bragging rights in this third and final heat as Groups A and B go into battle. Revs rise, they're in the tram lines, lights are on, lights are out. Heat 3 underway for Junior Road Tax as Maximov tries to hold on to the race lead. There has been an incident and that has caused a chain reaction, and 2 carts caught on each other. The 255 Hans Markus Neruskan, the 242 of Belgium's Lars Lambers have come together, and well, Hans Markus Neruskan's front bumper looks otherwise more than indented. It looks like it's about to be ripped off the chassis. Bent inwards after a result of that impact, but one person got caught up in the mid-pack. However, at the front end of the field, drivers now trying to start to dictate a little bit of a rhythm, but it's early doors in this race. The opening lap can be a bit frenetic, but it is Maximov that looks to lead the way. Ashcroft is second. Third looks to be Tom Streller, which it is. Fourth, it's Nelson. Fifth, it's Giaquinto from Italy. Rory Armstrong now up from 10th and is currently running P6. Thomas Verheyen. Oh, Max Swiderski had Ollie Wise up the inside and past him. That was a great move by the 256 from KR Sport. So Swiderski finds himself in 9th place. But a great move there early doors by Ollie Wise as we are on lap 2. Maximov trying to stride away, but Ashcroft and Streller will not let him go. Let's not forget these 3 battled amongst each other for the last few seasons from, I think it was 2022, 2023. Streller and Maximov decided to go to juniors. Ashcroft stayed for another year in minis, and Ashcroft is now leading. So with 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go, it's a Dan Holland Racing 1-2. Make that 1, 2, and 4 with Cameron Nelson. Fending off Lorenzo Giaquinto from Italy in 5th. Rory Armstrong not that far behind. Ollie Wise has set the new fastest lap of the race. Well done, Ollie. 58.394 seconds by the 2:56 from KR Sport. Alexander Van Meeuwen rounds out the top 10. But Ashcroft leads as next time around we'll head on to lap 4. No surprise, Hans Markus Narusk is out of the race on the opening lap after the as we've got a 3-second time penalty. 2-3-4 has been found to be 2 wheels out of the tram lines. Antoine Lemieux from Canada, who's all the way down in 20th position, will have an additional 3 seconds added to the total race time after this session has been completed. But now Tom Strella leads the way, having got through on Jacob Ashcroft. Boaz Maximov is still riding with them at the moment, but this is going to allow Nelson and Giaquinto to close on in. Past half time, Strella looks over the right shoulder, sees Ashcroft there, as well as Maximov. Maximov trying to put the hurry up onto Ashcroft, coming out of turn number 11. And Ashcroft starts to defend. Nice defence there by the 222. Max Sidursky, I think, has just got through on Thomas Verheyen for position. That's for 8th on the road. As an attempt there through into turn 3 on Jacob Ashcroft. Caught out Boaz Maximov, and there is Cameron Nelson, the 241, who was looking very, very good in the final at the B&L Karting Series kickoff 2 weeks ago before the weather decided his fate and put him 3rd on the rostrum. Now he's just got through at turn 7, and that's for P3 on Boaz Maximov. Giaquinto could very much factor into this in the dying 2 minutes and 20 seconds, plus an additional lap of this final junior Rotax heat out of 3. Ollie Wise is driving that Cosmic chassis like he stole it. He's been putting in more fastest laps than anybody else. And with coming up to just under 2 minutes to go, he's just set a new fastest lap, 57.626 seconds. Ashcroft now trying to hustle his way past Tom Strella through turn 6. So we could have more than just 5. We could possibly have a grandstand finale. We could have 6, maybe even more, depending on how much pace Rory Armstrong has got in the OTK chassis underneath him. And Armstrong has, in the meantime, lost out to Max Sidursky for that 7th place. But Strella still hanging on. Now Ashcroft decides this is the opportunity for me to get through, but he runs wide. Strella has a little bit of a slight wheel rub with the side pod on the right-hand side of Ashcroft. This now means that Boaz Maximov decides, okay, let's go for it. Up the inside of Giaquinto through turn 2, tries to go Ollie Wise, but can't make the move stick. Now Max Sidursky makes it 7 drivers, all that could win this final heat. Down the Europalan again they go. Giaquinto late on the brakes. Ollie Wise has just been passed by Max Sidursky, who's now up into 6th. Sometimes it's not always about going for broke, it's about knowing when your chances present themselves, when your opportunities become visible. And that's exactly what Max Sidursky has just showcased over the last couple of laps. Giaquinto starts defending sternly. Sidursky forces him wide. Wise gets through on the Italian too. And then Rory Armstrong is right with the Italian in his own right. And Armstrong could have an opportunity, but the top 4 have broken away. It's Ashcroft, Strella, Maximov and Nelson. Timer has expired. Next time around it will be the last lap, 1,360 metres. 12 turns in a clockwise direction that these drivers will have to make their way through whilst battling each other. But keep your eyes on those behind. Swiderski will factor into this. Wise will factor into this, because this quartet at the front end have been battling. It's going to be more like 10 karts, maybe even more than that. I think I even I spotted Tom Reger from Germany. He's at the back end of this 12-kart train. And now it's all going to start unfolding. Nelson gets up into P3. Swiderski is going to try and get through on Maximov. Waited and didn't get through. Ollie Wise gets through on the 297. Maximov tries to get through on Cameron Nelson. Nelson says, no, you don't, through turn number 3. But Ashcroft is going to be at the mercy of Tom Streller, and had already started defending when they came out of turn number 6. So Ashcroft has got to really start defending and keep that kart cornering on rails, but not make any mistakes. Nelson is in this, Maximov is in this. And then Ollie Wise is away from the likes of Rory Armstrong, who's just behind Max Swiderski. Boris Maximov trying to find his way past Cameron Nelson, but it's going to be the run to the line out of the final corner. Who's going to get the job done? It is going to be a different winner. It's going to be Jacob Ashcroft. Ashcroft wins by just under 0.2 of a second. After 9 laps of racing, Jacob Ashcroft picks up the win in the final heat of the day in the junior division. Finishing ahead of Tom Streller, with Cameron Nelson rounding out a Dan Holland Racing 1, 2, 3. Boris Maximov in 4th. Ollie Wise started 8th, finishes in P3. Max Swiderski ends up finishing in 6th ahead of Rory Armstrong. Lorenzo Giaquinto in 8th ahead of Alexander Van Meeuwen, with Thomas Verheyen completing the top 10. Lieke van Beckel, Tom Reger, Dragos Avisil Kutai, Andrea Remy, Jake Menton, another great performance by the 232, making up 13 places to finish 25th. Isaac Barker, Enzo Riccio, Jim Buck, Mate Korbehidze and Bran van der Weyken ran out the top 20. Elliot Surtees, Timothy Tarasiuk, Marco Fali, Bastian Ottensamer from Austria ran out the top 24. Ahead of Marcel Fali, with Antoine Lemieux and Lars Lambers rounding out the drivers that finished. And unfortunately, on the opening lap, we lost Hans Markus Narusk from Estonia, but Ashcroft wins the final junior road tax heat of the day.